Welcome back to the Angry Man Podcast with Jason and Greg. Jay, before we jump into this one, and I got to jump into it quickly because I can see the red in your eyes, the steam coming out of your ears. You are upset about this one, and so we're going to jump into this one. But before we do that, I need to make sure I welcome some very special people to the channel. This is the Angry Man Podcast, M Sports Media, where we're always dropping boxing-related content, so make sure you become a subscriber. For those of you who are regular patrons on the channel, make sure you smash the like button or the dislike button if you don't like the content, but make sure that you are engaging with the content. Jay, big news dropped probably like 30, 45 minutes ago, something like that. And it's directly conflicting with some other news that is out there. Now, you've asked me to try to reach out and validate and verify. I haven't done so yet. I'm not going to try to do so because I don't think, honestly, I'll get a response anytime soon. But what's being reported is Gervonta Tank Davis will face Jake Paul in Atlanta. What was the date again? I missed the date.
November 15th.
November 15th. A-Town down. You know who's going to be there, man. It's your boy. I'm going to be there.
We'll be there now. I'll be there for that. I'm happy about that.
Yeah. I'm going to be there for it. I live in the A, so of course I'm going to be there. But Jay, it's interesting, and I was telling you over the last, let's call it 3-4 weeks, I say he's not fighting Lamont Roach. Am I lying? Did I not tell you over and over and over he's not fighting Lamont Roach? Lamont Roach fight's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Lamont Roach is not going to happen.
They're trying to hear you with that, man.
Well, you might well want to hear me now. Gervonta Tank Davis, and this is being reported by Mike Coppinger, so we have to take it with a little bit of grain of salt now, but Mike Coppinger is saying that Gervonta Davis will face Jake Paul. On the other side, which makes this so interesting, is that Eddie Hearn is saying that Jake Paul is currently in negotiations to face AJ. So is he pulling, let me not even say that name because they'll say that every video we got to say that name. But is he pulling something? Is he pulling something similar that we saw with another fighter where that fighter was actually negotiating with one fighter as though he was going to make that fight, but all the while was negotiating with another fighter and quickly left that negotiation to go over here? Jay, it's interesting. I have mixed feelings on it, and I don't think this will be shocking to anyone. I'm perfectly fine and aligned with any fighter that wants to go out there and make a sizable payday with an exhibition. But my preference is for them to do it after they have finally wrapped up their career or on the tail end of their career. When I heard about Canelo Alvarez possibly facing Jake Paul, I thought to myself, you know what? Canelo is closer to the end of his career. My preference would not be for him to do that, but I kind of understand. I don't think Tank is at the end of his career, but maybe he is because since he keeps talking about retirement. But I didn't think, I don't feel that Tank is I think Tank has a lot more to give. And this sounds more like an exhibition. It's just something that, my preference would be not to do it at this point. But, it is what it is. And I know that I don't necessarily consider it a competitive event. It's more so of a spectacle. And I can't wait to hear what the rules are associated with this fight, considering Jake Paul is now a heavyweight and Gervonta Davis is a 135-pound fighter. But, hey, it'll be interesting. I'm sure it'll make a ton of money. It'll be on pay-per-view or whatever, or maybe it's going to be on Netflix. It'll be amazing. Jay, what's your thoughts on this particular topic? Gervonta Davis. Is Eddie Hearn right? I know you're hoping that it's Eddie Hearn. I know that you're hoping that Eddie's right. Yeah. You usually you hope
Eddie's right.
You usually hope that Eddie Hearn is not right. So this is interesting. What's your thoughts?
Yeah. Well, my thoughts. I told you from the get-go. I want the rematch with Tank and Roach. We know why that didn't happen last weekend. It was supposed to be last weekend, August 16th. We know why it didn't happen. So we're going on to the next.
That ain't why it didn't happen.
That was why it didn't happen.
No, it didn't have anything to do with that court case. They were making this fight. They were gonna make this fight.
Man, shut up. You had your time. Shut up. Time for this stuff, man. Anyway, I'm not happy with this. This is not something I can get on, even with it being an exhibition, because there's more meat in the bone out there. There's a rematch that needs to happen with Roach. Then down the line, we know Shakur ain't fighting the rest of this year anyway. Shakur already said that pretty much first quarter next year. He's already talking about trying to fight T.O. anyway on that. So I wasn't worried about Shakur being in the mix this year. But Roach, that's the one I want. That's the one that's been talked about. Shockey Foster, Cool Boy stuff talked about it, how they're going to be on the undercard of that fight. Even though also Frank Martin was rumored to be on the undercard. So there's a lot of people, Gary Antoine Russell. So we knew it was out there, the rematch. So that's what needs to get back on there. I don't want any exhibition, anything like that, because that's a horrible look for him. To your point, I don't mind exhibition if they're towards the end of their career or even done. But when you're active, you're a current champion, and this fight here, a heavyweight versus a 135 pounder, exhibition or not, doesn't make sense. Heck, I don't even really like I didn't like that. We just did a video yesterday, AJ versus Andre Ward. We didn't like that neither. So I mean, AJ versus Jake Paul, I'm not a fan of that, but hey, they can go ahead and do it because AJ's not a champion. He's coming off a loss against Damian Dubois. And a lot of people would love to see AJ fight Jake Paul or try to put Jake Paul out of boxing as far as being a fighter. But this is not the best thing. I definitely would try to be in that building. They fight in Atlanta. I'll be there for the event, but I won't be happy about that exhibition fight at all. It needs to be Tank Roach 2, point blank period. Because now, if they do the exhibition, all the people don't come out the woodwork talking noise. And I can't really fight them off because that's not a fight no one's asking for. Even if it's an exhibition, there's only one fight people are asking for. That's the Roach rematch right now. Shakur ain't fighting until next quarter, till first quarter next year.
Yeah, I got to be honest with you, man. I really don't like your energy. Your energy is poor. It's unsupportive. It's you don't have the energy of somebody who supports these fighters making a whole lot of money. Now you jump on the bandwagon,
but I keep it real though. I keep it 100.
You keep it 100, huh?
I keep it 100 because any other fighter was doing this, I would say the same exact thing.
I don't believe that to be the case.
This is one of my favorite fighters, so proof is in the pudding.
Hey, listen.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want my remarks to sound disparaging whatsoever. I understand the rationale and the reason for why they're doing what they're doing. I'm sorry. I'm opposed to it at this time. Catch me in 3 years. I'd be happy with it.
Absolutely.
But today, not so much, because I just think Tank has so much left in his career, so much more that he can actually prove. And I think he can prove it while making a whole lot of money doing so. So that's my only reason why. But it is what it is. We'll see who's actually right, whether it's Eddie Hearn or Gervonta Davis. My bet is if it's anything, it's going to be Gervonta Davis, because that's the easier fight for Jake Paul. Not that he would win, but I'm just saying, just the how it's framed is the easier fight. Let us know what you think in the comment section. Don't forget to hate, like, comment, and subscribe. This is the Angry Man Podcast on Sports Media, and we are out.
And I hate you.
And I hate you too, mother.